when you want to write something or you want to record something, or basically you've got something to say and you think about it days before and you think, that'll be brilliant, I've got so much to say. And then it comes the time to make that thing and you've forgotten everything relevant that you intended to say. That is going to be this video. So round about day 11 or 12, what I decided I wanted to talk about was what it was like to fall in love with your characters, fall in love with other people, people that you've created. But I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but for me, because, you know, it doesn't take much for, not romantically, but for me to fall in love with somebody. And if you know me in real life, you know that I will say I love you and mean it over and over again. That's how my friendship works. Just constant reassurance that you are loved. Don't psychoanalyze me. So every character that I've probably ever written, I love. There aren't many that are, you know, arseholes. You know, we write romance, they're all quite lovable. But this time I realised there was a difference between loving them because they are characters and good people, and then actively falling in love with them. As you know, Christian has been in previous books that I have played about with and drafted because he is the third brother. I think it was around the night of, around the 10th, 11th of this Nano, where your mind wanders into, what have I written today? What am I going to write tomorrow? And that was when I realised that I was actively falling in love with these characters. I suppose it's like when you're binge watching some sort of box set and there are just a couple that you ship, or there's, you know, they have to put at least one sexy guy in to keep your attention, where you just find your mind wandering and everything just feels a little bit tingly. You've got that little bit of happy anticipation. I'm going to get to watch another episode. I'm going to get to watch, to read another chapter. In this case, write another chapter, spend more time with this person who was really capturing my interest. And that was the minute that I knew that we were properly falling in love here. Perfect. This is what we want. I'm not in love with him. No one else is going to be in love with him. Hannah isn't going to be in love with him. You guys, if you ever get to read it, aren't going to be in love with him. And then what's the point? From a purely heterosexual standpoint, that has been the whole point of romance this entire time. You can put yourself into the female protagonist's shoes and you can fall in love with this boy. You know he's probably going to break your heart at some point, but you know he's going to fix it at the end. There's no real baggage, but you're allowed to go through all the emotions that you can get from loving someone without the actual baggage and without the actual danger that you're going to have your heart broken and it's going to affect the rest of your life. Because you know in another 2 chapters time he's going to fix it and we're going to have a happily ever after. When I realised that I was properly falling for Christian, I realised that I'd already fallen for Hannah. In the books you read, you're supposed to find something in the main character that you can relate to so that you can put yourself in their shoes. And the same with writing, and that's why, you know, a lot of characters come out with a certain character trait that is of yours. Although most writers probably don't say that they, you know, make a character entirely themselves. They're going to have a little character trait, or they're going to be a little part of who we are, because we're complicated humans, so we can pick out the academic part or the one with emotional baggage part, that, I don't know, any manner of things. But strangely, I don't think Hannah's really anything like me. Compared to other characters, she's not, there's no massive part that I've taken out of me and amplified in her. So when I fell for Christian, I realised that I think I'd already fallen for her. She's got her shit together. She knows what she's doing. She is automatically academic and intellectual. It comes really easily to her, but she uses that in a very down-to-earth and tactile way. And she just gets stuff done because she wants to help people. She's not scared to ever physically put her hands on people and comfort people and not necessarily charge writing, but go straight into a situation and say, this is where it needs, okay, let's get this executed. And she is capable of doing all that execution of all the needs of all the people. So I think I fell in love with her first. We've got the tingles, we want to think about them, and I think that's how you mainly know about any programme, any book, anything you're writing. Probably anyone in real life, if you're at that point where you're open to falling in love with other people. Catching yourself thinking about them and catching yourself thinking about them for writing in more than just a logistical way. Okay, so, you know, while I was writing my research folder, Christian, you need to tell me this answer. You need to explain to me what exactly your clothing style is, what your music style is. You need to explain to me what your favourite meal is. Rather, okay, so if this was happening, what would we be doing? What would Christian say? All of those fancy things. So, hook, line, sinker, I'm in. So in. And it was a massively good sign that I fell in love with them before they started frustrating me about not knowing where this book was going, because otherwise I might have just said, I'm not interested in your story now then. In terms of things that writers might do that might be slightly strange if you're not a writer, I don't even think this would go for other creatives. It's very specific to people that are telling stories or creating characters. Having, once again, something that's tactile that you can relate to. So initially, for November, I wanted this specific hoodie that I thought was very Hannah Dabrowski-Nash-esque and would get me in the mood for writing. But by the time I went to get one, they'd sold out. So since then, I've been going completely characterless. I have had no costume, no outfit, until I saw this jumper. I was walking around Tesco's on Friday, generally having a nosy and trying to keep out of the way of the millions of old people that had gone to do their shopping on a Friday afternoon, and I saw this jumper. I didn't intend to buy myself what is now termed the Christian Walker jumper, but there was just something about how soft it was and the colour that instantly made me think, this is absolutely a jumper that Christian Walker would wear. So I bought it for myself. It's not that weird. I don't know how this goes for other people, but as straight women, the stereotype is when we fall in love, we steal his clothes. So what better way to get in to remind myself that we are in love with this boy, and at the present moment he is our one and only in the fiction world, obviously. Also, in terms of wanting to get into Hannah's mindset, what's she going to wear? She's going to wear Christian's jumper. Although I did make a little bit of a cock up because I bought a small. It looked quite big on the hanger. I bought a small, and on the way home I thought, Christian wouldn't even wear a small. I'm not sure the colour suits me, but as you can see, I'm a massive fan of green. When we're in love, we don't care if our boyfriend's clothes suit us. We just want to wear them, snuggle into them, feel a little bit small and fragile and feminine, and it doesn't matter how hardcore a feminist you are, sometimes that is literally how you want to feel. Whether it's true or not doesn't necessarily make you fragile, but that's what you want to do. As I caveated this video with, all the things that I wanted to say about falling in love with characters a week ago, I've completely forgotten. But we'll see in the edit how well I've remembered during this video. Let me know if you can relate to those kind of feelings, whether that is characters that you've written, characters that you're reading, characters that you're watching on TV, and how you know that you've reached that point where you've hit the sweet spot and you've fallen. Because that's what we need. No tears in the writer, no tears in the reader. No love in the writer, no love in the reader. And that's what we're doing here. We're writing dirty, cheesy, very important sociological love stories. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Today, on a quick Nano update, for the last 2 days, Nano has, I keep a tally on paper, and when I've just tallied it up, for the last 2 days, the Nano website has put an extra 27 words per day onto my word count. Why 27? I mean, I did 9,000 on Saturday and 1,600 yesterday, so it's not even a certain percentage that it's adding on. What a weird number, 27. I'm just going to try and work my way through the rest of the scenes that I've got. I think I might try to do 1 or 2 scenes today. I'm sorry, I've just realised the washing machine has been going in the background this entire time. What am I like? Yeah, so I think we're just going to work through these scenes and see what happens. We've still not come to the break. We will eventually get there. And that's about it for this Monday. Me and my Christian Walker jumper are going to see how many words we can get written and enjoy the blue sky while it's still here. So let me know if you can relate. Let me know how you're falling. Let me know how you're doing with falling in love with people in your real life. It's Monday. I'm feeling very nosy. I want to know it all. And if not, I will see you next time. From me and my washing machine. See you later, guys.